Hello,
Hello, how are you, man?
I'm fine, and you?
Perfect, perfect. Can you hear me? Perfect. Is it
Yeah,
okay?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I hear you perfectly.
Okay. Are you on a train or something like that?
Yes, we are on a tour bus right now.
Great.
The crew is here.
Oh, great, great, great. Well, my name is Ruben, and I'm here for Headbangers Latinoamérica in Argentina.
Super, thank you. I know your website really well.
Okay. Well, let's start with this. In the first place, I need you to introduce yourself, but the way you would like to be introduced.
Well, I don't have the outfits to do it properly, but we are the pirates, and we are coming to Argentina in the next weeks. So of
Okay.
course, I make from Visions of Atlantis, and it's a massive pleasure to be here with you today.
Okay, thank you very much for your time, man. Well, how is it when a new singer starts with a band, and this singer must sing the old band's classic songs?
Well, at the beginning was weird, to be honest, because it felt like I was, almost in a cover band. You see what I mean? Like you sing
Hmm.
someone else's track, so it's not like you. But you need to find a connection into what's going on and into the meaning of the songs, the message that is brought, and in the end, when every song can be interpreted in a different way.
Hmm.
So if you find a way to interpret the song in a certain way, you find a connection, you find something that clicks, and after this is done, it gets easy to give your own interpretation to the song itself. Therefore, it's easier to bring it on stage and to transmit something that you project in your mind. But
Hmm.
it's also true that, I mean, right now it's 5 years and a half that I'm with the band. Actually, I just became the second most lasting singer of Visions of
Uh-huh.
Atlantis. So it's plus, right now we don't play almost any song of the old lineup anymore.
Uh-huh.
Live, we focus so much on the new cycle of Visions of Atlantis that we basically almost don't play anything from the previous record, except for the Deep in the Dark. Of course, we play stuff from the Deep in the Dark because this is the album of the rebirth of VOA. Therefore, yeah, sounds like Return to Lemuria or the Deep in the Dark itself. We are going to play, but now this new era, this new cycle of Visions of Atlantis is really strong.
Uh-huh.
We are really happy with what we're doing. We find our identity in the new music. Therefore, most of the set list for the live shows comes from Pirates and Wonders and the Deep in the Dark. So it's the new era of
Yeah.
Visions.
Yeah, because the band seems get a certain stability with you and Clementine. Do you know what happened? Why with you happened this?
Well, when there is an engine that works perfectly, but there is only one wheel that maybe it's perfect, it's a perfect wheel, but doesn't match the other wheels. So something is running, but it doesn't run properly. Then you change this wheel, you put a new one with the right size and the right shape, and it just make everything work. I think that this
Hmm.
is what happened with Visions. Like Siggy was an amazing singer. Siggy is
Hmm.
an amazing singer.
Hmm.
He still plays with Dragony. But somehow the chemistry within the band was not where it is right now. Something was missing, and sometimes it's just a matter of personality, sometimes it's just a matter of connection. What we found right now is such a strong connection. We are all great friends. We go on
Hmm.
holiday together. We love to spend time together. We respect each other really, really, really much. Like we love each other, I would say, and this creates this unicity, this amazing feeling when we are together on stage and off stage, and this projects in the songs. This is something that you can feel in the music itself. This is something you can totally grasp when you listen to our music in the studio, and when you listen to our show, when you attend our show.
Okay, and I guess you've experienced both playing for a huge amount of people, thousands of people, and maybe you perform too in smaller venues. What do you prefer? Because I guess they're different.
They are. Well, of course, when there are thousands of people, there is an an impact. There is such a strong energy that you can feel, you know, like I believe that we as humans, we have a way of passing our energy and our sensation from one person to the other. So just imagine that if there are 12,000 people in front of you and they are all excited, they are all happy, they are all having fun, there is this massive wave of energy that comes from the crowd and reaches you. And this is a sensation that is just unbelievable. It's overwhelming in a positive way. So I personally really love it. But at the same time, you know, when you play in small venues with 50, 80, 100 people, there is something else that jumps in, which is intimacy. Because you can truly look at each and every single person in their eye, you know, like I can look at every person that is listening to the show and create a personal connection, which is also really magic and really special. You know, like when you have 2,000 people, 5,000 people in front of you, it's hard to even recognize the single person. It's more about the unicity of the wave of energy that comes as a whole. When instead you are talking to, or you are singing or performing in front of one person, there is a different connection. Right now I'm talking to you, I look at you in your eye, I create a connection between the two of us, and this is what happens when you have a small venue with little people. So it's also magic, you know, in a way. It's just different. It's hard to say what I prefer, if I prefer one or the other thing.
Well, and talking about the set list, for example, for this tour, how hard is it to create it? And I guess you're taking care even of the order of the songs. How do you decide that?
Let's say that it's not easy, especially when you have to select songs from several records. I would say that it's like as difficult as deciding the setting for the CD itself. What we try to make happen is to create variety, so that you know, some songs are fast songs, some songs are slow songs, some songs are mid tempos, some songs are ballads. So what we try to do is to find a way to make the set list being engaging, so that you don't have too many slow songs one after the other. But at the same time, we also want people to be focused and not to be overwhelmed by, I don't know, riffing and speed. So we try to avoid songs that are like 2 or 3 songs in a row that are all super fast. Otherwise, it just feels like there is, you know, drums, and you lose focus on the melody. So alternating, variating, creating a story that begins in a certain way and ends in a certain way. It's what we try to achieve with choosing the order of the songs in the set list. But indeed, it's not easy. And sometimes we change. Sometimes we realize, okay, this song in that position didn't work, so we try to put it in a different position because it's not easy.
And talking about this internet times, with, you know, the sellings of albums are falling down and things like that. I guess the tours and the live shows are the most important thing for a band. Is it?
Yeah, they totally are. Yeah, they totally are. I mean, I personally am not super against what's going on, because in the end there are pros and cons. If you want me to give my honest opinion, you know, once back in the days, of course, you bought the record, you pay $15 or $20, whatever was the price of the record. But this happened once, and once the record was purchased, that person would have never bought the same record again. Right now with Spotify, yes, you get a lot less, but the same person might listen to your record 20, 50, 500 times, and still every time a song is streamed, you get a super small percentage, but you get it. So it's a different system, but I don't think it's that far, you know, from what it was back then, because the sales the digital sales are really counterbalancing the amount of CDs that are not sold. Of course, if you are a small band and people are not buying your CD, of course, you don't earn as much as you could earn if the CDs were sold. But at the same time, nowadays, everyone can release a CD. Like, there are way more labels, there are way more studios, there are way less costs in terms of production of the CD. So it's easier. I also believe that we are too many in a way, you know, like if you open Spotify, you have such a wide choice, so many artists that you get lost. Back in days, it was different. Back in the days, you enter a music store and only the good labels with a good promotion would have made your CD reach that music store. So I think it's edgy. I don't want to go against anyone, but I have my opinion here. And my opinion is that if you do well, if you do good music, and if you reach the fans in a proper way, and if your label is a good label, at the end of the day, you earn enough to deal with this world without any issue, even if the market sales are going down and the digital sales are going up.
Uh-huh. Anyway, you like it or not, this is the way things are. This is not
Exactly.
gonna change.
Exactly.
We gotta get used to
Exactly.
it and find a way to survive to this.
Correct. It's, the world doesn't turn in the way we want. It just turns in a certain way. We need to understand how to make it to cope with this and do our best.
Talking about the music, this style, in this kind of music, how important is the studio work, production, mixing? I guess it must have an important place.
Yeah, definitely. I think, especially nowadays where technology is such an advance, and basically, if I wanted to learn how to do things, if I learn how to use electronic drums, how to play guitar, play bass, and how to record it, basically one person could record a record by its own in his own studio. This is something completely new. So this is where you truly build up your own identity, in my opinion. In the studio is where a band truly defines who they are and the way they want to present to the bigs. So it's extremely important. I would say the pre-production is the most important step, even more than the mixing itself and the mastering of the record, because it's during the pre-production that you define all these elements. Mixing is, follows. Mixing follows what has been done during the pre-production, and mastering follows what has been done during the mixing. But it's during the songwriting and the production process that you truly need to do things carefully. To think through,
And talking about production, how do you know when to stop?
Good question. Well, this is something that you learn with experience. Because I remember, this is a good question. I remember that when I was younger and when I was like working on the first records, I was listening to the songs 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, and every time I was like, okay, this needs to be changed slightly. And then I was really saying, and okay, this also, maybe I want to raise the volume of the kick drum by 1 dB. So I was extremely picky. I was extremely careful of every detail, and I learned that some things were just in my mind. Record after record, I went the opposite way. Like by being super picky, I started to understand because it's just a detail that maybe only I hear or only I look at, So record after record, I got less and less strict in my approach to listen to the production, and I've learned how to just let go of some things because they are not relevant. Of course, if there is a big thing that pops up, like if the kick drum is too low in the entire record, I would notice because I've been there. Because I was super picky and I know how to be super picky. But I've learned how to cope with myself and to say, okay, this is not necessary. If this is 2 dB higher or 2 dB lower in terms of volume, it doesn't make a difference. Yeah. So I've learned how to listen to what matters. And of course, I'm supported by a nice team. I'm supported by a team that really knows how to do their job. So I also trust the mixing engineer. For instance, I trust the mastering engineer, and I trust the producer. This is also important.
And maybe there is something related to self-confidence. For example, the singer in this case, or the musician personality, I guess, it must play a role, an important role with this, with knowing when to stop production.
Yeah, the producer. Mostly it's the producer. I think that the trust and the biggest confidence is confident, and the producer must be the one who says, okay, now it's time to stop. And we as artists, I think it's extremely important that we trust him, because this is also a problem that several artists have. Like sometimes you're so I would say egocentric, which is, I don't want to say it in a wrong way, but sometimes we are so strict and stubborn with our ideas that we want to overwhelm the person that is producing the record. But in the end, if I choose a producer, if we as a band choose someone that produces the record, it means that we believe in what he does. Otherwise, we would have not chosen him or her, of course. So trusting that person, it's a step, it's an important step. It's like, I don't know, trusting your wife or your husband, or, in a relationship, when you are with other people, you have to put trust in these people. Otherwise, it's not a healthy relationship. This is what we do with our producer. We just trust him. I say him because it's Felix. It's a guy. It's called Felix.
Great. Well, talking about other thing, I don't know how is it there in Europe. Here, in America in general, and especially maybe in USA, there's this issue with the cancel culture. Is it the same there in Europe? Do you have that kind of situation?
Yeah, it's growing. I would say that it's growing step by step. Of course, this is a really deep topic that will need more than 20 minutes to be discussed. But if you want to hear my opinion, my general opinion is that this is also related to self-confidence. Normally, we are affected by things that touch us in a direct way. The more we are confident in the more we believe in ourselves, the least someone else's opinion matters. So I think that we need to be really careful when it comes to this topic in particular, because there are good and bads on both sides. We need to be tempered, we need to be resistant, we need to be confident, we need to believe in who we are. Of course, respect is the first thing that needs to be given to anyone. Like, first of all, I respect you. If you then, for some reason, don't respect me, then we have a problem. But the first thing that you have to do towards any other human being is respecting them. So understanding why a person might get offended, understanding what hurts someone else, it's a basic rule in society. Like, I don't want to disrespect you. And if there is something that for you it's relevant, I need to think that I'm not alone in this world. Therefore, I need to respect you and understand how not to hurt you with my words and with my gestures. But at the same time, I also have to be free of doing the things I like and to say the things I say, especially if it's a joke or if it's said in a nice way, because you also grow. Like, I'm Italian. Can you imagine how many people mock me, because of the pasta mandolino? If I would be oversensitive, I should be pissed at every cartoon, like Family Guy, they mock Italian, The Simpsons mock Italian, mafia movies mock Italian. So if I would not see that there is a reason behind this, and sometimes it's a joke, sometimes it's a message, I would be offended by everything, in my culture, it's so easy. So I also need to learn, okay, I'm Italian, but I'm proud of being Italian. I know that we have our mocking our gimmicks, but this is part of my culture and I'm proud of it. It's even personality, like I am with my accent, with my Italian accent, I am personal. I become unique. I'm different from you with the South American accent, or I'm different from a German with the German accent, like we all have our characteristic. It's fine. And if you believe in your inner strength, it's hard to get offended. I really hardly get offended by others because I'm confident and I believe in myself. So my message for everyone is, like, believe in yourself, because if you truly believe in yourself, you will live in a happier way and you will feel less offended by others.
Great, really great. Well, we're running out of time. So this is your moment, your commercial place. Tell the people why the Argentine people, why should they attend to the next October, Visions of Atlantic show here in Buenos Aires.
So, people listening to this interview at Headbangers Latinoamérica, beware that if you come to our concert, you don't only attend a concert. There is not only musicians playing. You will be part of the show. We are pirates. We are taking you on board our ship, and we will make you become part of the concert itself. There is so much ongoing. It's not only musicians playing music. There is a real show with acting, with stuff happening, and you will be part of it, I promise you. So if you want to have a memorable night, something unique, an experience that you will remember for the next weeks, maybe months, you definitely have to get your ticket and come to the show.
Perfect. Great, great. Can I ask you just one more thing, and I leave you
I'm
alone?
here. No worries. No worries. No problem.
Where are you going to?
Right now, we are going to
Uh-huh.
New York. This is New York City. We play
Great,
in New York tonight with Delane.
great, great. We hope to see you here.
Muchas gracias. Muchas gracias.
Goodbye, man.
Hola.
Thank you very much.
Hola. Adiós.